Some reason I got kicked out. Hopefully you're still there, Allison. Let's see. Okay, so if you just are joining me, for some reason I got kicked out of my live broadcast, or maybe it didn't start properly. And if so, if it was human error, it was definitely mine. But welcome to an episode of The Love Witch. I see Allison's here from the UK. Thank you so much for joining. And many of you other followers are tuned in, and I thank you. We're going to be talking about magic today. And I won't repeat myself because I just did a whole big long intro, but I think we weren't live. So we'll just jump right in. We're going to be discussing magic today, and I'd love to answer any of the questions you have about magic. Be sure to write them right down in the comment section so that I can chat with you this way live while we're here today. Okay, so the card magic. You have selected this card because you have been asking for the magic in your life to return. You may have experienced the magic when you first fell in love or when you achieved something that meant a lot to you. This card indicates that you have been the recipient of a miracle at some point in your life. Perhaps you have survived a near-fatal accident or received a spontaneous healing. There is an element of magic all around you, and all you have to do is reach out and claim it. You have the divine connection to help you through any situation and to live outside of the normal laws that govern the universe. You are able to live beyond the limits that most people believe that keep them trapped. Yes, you are the exception. You have had experiences in your life that have taught you this, and you just needed a little reminder. The magic is still available to you. Anything you do with love and peace will come back to you as unlimited potential. There are things you have been wondering about, and your perspective is expanding. Embrace this expansion as it is part of who you really are. You are more tapped in than others, and this may make you feel a bit lonely or different. Be assured that you are not alone. There are others like you that feel the same way. It is possible for you to join together for a greater benefit, or you may choose to ride on your magic carpet ride alone. The choice is yours, and you have created this opening for yourself. So let the magic begin. A few additional meanings. Practice working with the laws of the universe and allow your abilities to grow. Allow the magic to become part of who you are and the way you live. Magic is entering your life right now. Find out what ways you can use your magic to help humanity. I love talking about magic because there are so many ways that you can practice magic in your daily life. It's not just about creating rituals and spells, but it's about having a magical outlook, having a very inspired, optimistic outlook. And that in itself can draw magical circumstances into your life. Although you can also do all that sacred ritual work, which I adore, because it gives me a point of focus and it does bring certain earth elements together to enhance what it is that you would like to draw into your life. So, of course, the Love Witch is all about magic. And I'm just super happy to be talking about this with you guys today and being able to answer any questions that you have. So I'd like to welcome Tracy. Hello, beautiful. Hi, Carol. I'm very good. Thank you for asking. I love this card too, Tracy. And this is one Lonnie that she created it with her finger on a digital draw program. So it's really beautiful. So we're going to talk about magic. And I'd love to know, please post it in the chat room. What kind of magic do you do? What kind of magic is your favorite? I have this is my magical box and I keep very special items in here. Every year when I manifest on the new year, I actually write it all down, what I would like to bring into my life for the upcoming year. And I put it inside my magical box. I've got all kinds of good stuff in here. I should look through it to make sure it's all decent to share online. I haven't opened this up today. So I have certain things that I've written down. I have, some feathers that I use when I'm saging. I always have frankincense. I actually have this as an incense. I also have frankincense oil, because this is very, very powerful to raise vibrations. And of course, the higher your vibration, the more easily you can manifest and create miracles and magic in your life. So I always have that. Let's see. Let's see here. I may as well just go through some of these things. I have a little pouch here where I keep my special pendulum. Now, if you don't know what pendulums are, I'm sure most of you do if you're watching my show, but you can actually divine quite a lot of answers for yourself with a pendulum. And you would simply hold it over your hand, ask it to show you yes, which mine is always clockwise circles, and then ask for no. There it goes. It already reversed. So you can actually ask your pendulum many different things to give you guidance, to tap you in with your higher knowing, your intuitive gifts. It works with you. And it seems like magic, but people like Einstein, they loved pendulums and dowsing rods. Very, very smart, very, very scientific people knew that there was an energy present and that things like this could work. So this particular one is very magical in itself because I use this with hundreds of students. So many people have touched it. I've passed it around. It works with every single person that touches it because this pendulum must know that I am a teacher and that I work with many, many people. I've had other pendulums that would only work with one specific person, but if your intention is to share your tools and knowledge with others and you come up as a teacher, you will actually attract different types of divining tools that will work with a broad range of people because they will not be specific just to you. So I think that's pretty magical as well, that inanimate objects can be taught and that they would resonate individually with you and how you are going to use the tools. And I think that's the most important thing when you're using any divining tool or any magical stuff, rituals, or any intentions, right? That it's going to be shifting. And how do I want to say that? It's going to be blending with you, your specific energy, your specific intention, your desires, what you're bringing to the table. So if you just found this pendulum on a table, it would not be magical. But because of how I use it, my energy has infused it and it cooperates with me. So everything in your environment is a cooperative component to you and how you live your life and what your intentions are. So when we really get good at it, you can start channeling information and teaching your surroundings how to support you better. I always teach my theta healing students to go up into their theta brainwave and then download, that their sofa is comfortable, or that their house is safe and it's protected, or that their doorway clears off negative energy when other people enter. There's all kinds of things that you can do to magically enhance your environment. So yeah, magic, it's one of my favorite topics. Okay, let's see, what'd you say? Oh, you adore magic too, Tracy? Yes, absolutely. Oh, thank you. I'll put that up so Lonnie can see it. She's not here, but she'll be watching this later. Yes, she is so talented. I know she's been posting more paintings lately online. I just love them. Okay, and then I got in here in this pouch, etheric weaver. Now this is so powerful, you guys. This is a healing tool. Now, even though it looks like a pendulum, it's not. This is not used for divining. This is only used for healing. It's very, very powerful. You should look them up online if you're interested in this. But as you can see, it's a quartz crystal. It's got two very powerful earth magnets, and it's wrapped with copper, which really, really enhances its abilities to heal. So when you hold this over the human body, it literally weaves back together your aura. It can help you heal yourself. And people have sessions with these where they just hold the pendulum or the the etheric weaver right over the physical body for like 45-minute sessions. And the healer has to do nothing other than hold it. This little device will do everything that it needs to. It will weave your aura back together if it's been wounded by traumas, emotional upset, upheaval, loss. anything like that. When we experience very extreme or difficult emotions, we get kind of jagged auras, and it becomes sometimes like a hole in our aura where negative entities can attach, and we can be more of a magnet for illness and other bad circumstances. Using something like this, you can just hold this right over you, and you can also hold this over photos and send it remotely to people, and animals. I've done it before for animals and had amazing results. So this is a very, very powerful tool. Again, it's called the Etheric Weaver. Quite magical. And I think I've shown this before. This is my Herkimer diamond right here. Ooh, look how shiny it is. This is one of the most powerful little crystals that you can have. It's a quartz crystal from Herkimer, New York. And you can get one of these. It's very powerful to use if you set up grids in your home or in your yard. If you have a specific area where you do all your healing work, this would be a very, very powerful crystal to have there to enhance any of the healing work that you do. I also tell people to carry it right on your body. Carry it, put it in your pocket. You can wear it with jewelry. This is a very powerful one to use with moldavite. So Herkimer diamonds and moldavite work really powerfully, but they will bounce your spirit right out of your body if you're not ready for that high vibration. So take it easy, get used to one stone before you go into the next. All right. I have also, I have some very, let's see, I'll just show you. I have some tobacco for ceremonies. And so I use these. Sometimes I bless areas with it. I've used this before after cleansing a property where I will leave some tobacco as an offering to the spirits to protect it. Sometimes I'll put it in the four corners. And if you don't have any sacred blessed tobacco, you can use whatever you want to and bless it yourself. You have the ability to raise the vibrational frequency based on your intention. So you can simply pray over something to make it a sacred object and then use it for the purposes that you set into motion. So I love that. Oh, thank you. Hi, Karina. Welcome. Yes. And now, Tracy, Lonnie's not with us. I don't know if this recorded earlier, so I'll say it again. But we're planning to move across country. So Lonnie's at home selling furniture today. We're getting ready for our big move, and she is going to move in with me, and we're going to go together. So I'm really excited about that. It's been years since we've lived together, but we have a lot more collaborations to do so that we can provide more content for you guys. So whether it's videos, products, and Lonnie's working on a whole line of stuff on her own. So we're just going to be really working hard, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next few months with our journey. Okay. So then I have very special feather that was given to me by one of my fellow healers. And this is a really special one. It's got like a little crystal on it here. So this is always in my magical box. Of course, I have Palo Santo. I have many, many things in my magical box. I've got little stones, all kinds of stones. And I've got even some of the holy metals, which I love. And so it doesn't matter what religion you are, and you can take one thing from one religion and use it with whatever purpose you intend. Religions don't own specific things. They're all for our benefit, right? So if there are little metals that have a particular meaning, you can carry that no matter what religion you are, no matter what your belief system is. It's always, again, about our intention that we put into these things that make them more powerful. So you can turn anything ordinary into something magical if you want to. So those are just some items in my magical box. And I love discussing magic when it comes to miracles and manifestations too, because you guys are a living miracle. You guys manifest every single day. We manifest on autopilot. When you really, really get good at manifesting, you can direct and navigate which direction your life is going. When you're not aware that you're the ruler, that you're the creator of your own life and your own destiny, you're kind of just taking what comes. And that's where people that are not really empowered yet. They're feeling very victimized by life and circumstances because all these bad things happen. But when you rise, when you pull back your energy, when you get really clear-headed, you raise your vibration and you start doting on yourself through nurturing and self-love, you will restore your energy, and that will bring clarity of your mind, and that will help you navigate, direct, and focus on the life you're creating. And you'll see how powerful that is. There's nothing more magical than really powerful manifestations. And some manifestations, they can come like that, just like magic. They can appear. And other ones, they might be more step 1, step 2, step 3, depending on your belief system. I have had things manifest immediately. I've had things delivered to me through the veil, from the spirit world. I've had things just show up that were physically not in my environment, and then suddenly they were. And that can happen to you as well. So it's good to stay open-minded and about all the different possibilities and about the timeline. If you say something will take a long time to come in, well, then it will, because you're basically directing the universe to make it take a long time. But if you say, I'm open to receiving this now, thank you, I already have it, I've already shifted, I'm moving forward as if I'm already in that energy, as if I've already received it, you will magnetize things to you very, very, very quickly. So magic occurs in your mind. Magic occurs in your energy field, in your belief system. There's a lot of different components to it. And of course, you can use all the magical tools to help you along the way. All right. Hi, Winter, the special dog. Oh, aw. Let's see. Oh, so Tracy, yes. There we go. Oh, thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. And I will share everything that we create. We'll just take you on our journey. We'll probably blog some of that because that'll be fun for us. We're really, really looking forward to it. And then we got a quick, hello from Karina. Very nice. Hello there. And hello. All right. So you guys, what do you want to know about magic? What is your favorite magical thing that you like to do? What is your ritual or something that really brings something special into your life? So Lonnie and I were actually discussing magic right before I came on. We had a little phone call, and she was like, Mom, make sure you tell them how to bring magic into their daily life. So while there are, like I said, all these beautiful rituals and all the goodies that we can use, and that's super fun, it's also fun just to speak out loud to, like, let's say the angels or your spirit guides or your loved ones that are with you, and, claim that front row spot in the parking lot, or claim that all the lights on your way to work turn green, or claim that you get a certain client that pays you a certain dollar amount. You can say whatever it is you want, speak it into existence. That's using your magic as well. And sometimes that's just super fun to do. And every time it happens, you're like, oh, there's my front row again. There's my parking spot. And you pull in. And it's like, that's just a simple little boost to your day, because you're like, you're plugged in, the magic is on, it's happening. Also, when you're going to bed at night, you can, thank the universe for your beautiful day. You can ask your loved ones to send you messages in your dreams. You can ask for spirit visits. You can ask for your spirit guide team to give you downloads to prepare you for your next day. You can utilize that even in your dream space, because when your body's resting, you're able to receive messages very, very clearly. And that's why it's a very, very active time for the spirit world to connect with you. Now, I know, like, a lot of my students actually, when they first come to me and they're like, I just feel like, my life is too mundane and I don't feel like I have any magic in my life. And I'm like, what? Well, we need to fix that, because living a magical life is beautiful and inspiring, and it's never the same day twice. So when things seem to get dull, ordinary, or boring, it's like your vibrations coming down and you're kind of in settle mode, right? And it's okay to be, you can be stable and have magic. You don't have to be settled. Okay. So there's a very big difference between being stable and being settled. Okay. Um, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Got a new subscriber. Thank you so much. I love having you here. Okay. Okay. So let's see, what are some other things? Sometimes I talk to people about simple rituals. Like if you don't have the tools, you're not sure where to start, you can start with something very, very simple about like when you're making your bed in the morning. When you're going through the practice of making your bed, doing it with more of a sacred intention and just telling your bed and telling the sheets and your pillows, thank you for the blissful night of sleep. Thank you for healing my body as I sleep. Thank you for preparing me for all the miracles that I'm about to receive today. And as you're smoothing out your blankets and fluffing your pillows and organizing your sheets, if you're saying this to your bed and you're intentionally putting that energy into your sleeping quarters, it's really amazing that it will give back to you. It really will. Inanimate objects, we call it inanimate, but everything in the universe was created. We were created. Everything else was created. So we can connect to that energy within everything. And like I said, program it to work for you and support what it is that you want to bring into your life or have more of. I think too often we're always focusing on what we want to get rid of. And that's not a bad thing. But when we focus on what we want to get rid of, it grows, it gets bigger, it gets more profound in our life. So rather than focusing on things to get rid of or things to change or things to let go of, just shift your focus to what you want to bring more of. And that will immediately uplift your vibration, immediately, and open you up to receive more miracles and magic. Okay. Yes, me too, Tracy. Absolutely. Oh, putting your intention into your morning drink. I love that one. That is very, very powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. Okay. So, those of you that don't know, we can actually channel things into liquid, okay, into water, any other kind of liquid as well, by simply putting our hands on the glass, close our eyes, just connect with it. You can put love into it. You can put health into it. You can put abundance into it. And you just send it all this energy with your mind, with your intention, with your focus. Or you can actually write the word right on the outside of the glass, and that will also influence the liquid. And that's been proven. If you ever have watched Dr. Emoto with all of the water crystals, a written word, a spoken word, the thought, all of it affects water on a cellular, like a crystal level, on the structure of the water changes with different words and energy. So as you do that, you can put all of that into it and then you drink it, and it's putting it right into the cells of your body. Very, very, very powerful. So thank you for sharing that, Tracy. I love that one. Thank you. Winter, the special dog. Thank you. That's so funny. I know, but you know what? It doesn't matter because I always talk to you guys like you're there because I can feel your energy. I know all the people that are tuning in and I can see a bunch of different names. Oh, we have Kim joining us. Hi, Kim. It is funny. Even when I'm sitting here, it feels funny. Like I just feel like you guys are in the room with me. So anyway, oh, and Lonnie, what? Let me see. Oh, Lonnie does that with her coffee. Good. Yes, I love that. Lonnie, you should tune in with us. You should pop in on StreamYard and pop into our conversation. I'd love to have you. So yeah, my little assistant is not here today in person, but maybe she'll pop in. Maybe we'll be surprised by her. Who knows? So other things that you guys can do that are magical, I think that it's really a good time to also get into doing some magic because it has been challenging times for people, right? When things are challenging, It's easy to get really down. It's easy to get depressed, to feel hopeless, to believe in the group conscissness of everything is so tough, everything is so struggle filled. And oh, here we go. Look at this. Let's see if I get her. There she is.
Hi
Lonnie,
guys.
do I have to add you?
Let me click out of this here. I got some stuff going. There we go. Okay.
Okay. Here, and I'll
All
put a
right.
card from.
Hi.
Hello there. It's nice to have you here with us.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't think it would add me so quick to the broadcast. I thought I was going to pop in and then I'd add myself, but it did it automatically. So I was like, whoa. So I hope I didn't cut you off. But
So
hi,
Lonnie,
everybody.
we're talking about magic. What other things do you do for magic?
Oh my gosh.
Like
I
favorite
love
spices, favorite oils, anything like that?
Absolutely. I wanted to add to what Tracy said because I love the stirring the intention into the drink every morning. Like that's something I've been literally doing maybe the past like 3 days.
Yeah.
As I'm sipping my coffee.
One day at a time.
Like,
Nice.
yeah. So as I make it, like I stir in the sugar and I kind of think like, okay, sugar, like I want my day to feel sweet. Like I want to include like joy in my day and things that make me happy.
Yeah.
And then I'll put in like oat milk and then things that are wholesome that make me feel good, you know, and then the coffee for energy and like feeling like bright and alive, that kind of thing. So like that's intention is really cool, but like what you add also holds intention. So holding specific like, you know, herbs or spices, super great. Yeah, with magic, it's really funny. So I've gotten really into like learning more about like kind of herbalism stuff, and I'm not. What was that?
Yeah, I was gonna say like some of the candles that you made for me. Tell them about your magical candle dipping process.
Okay, so oh my gosh, I have so many things to say.
I'll put you on just for a minute here. I'll go like this. Oops, nope, not that way.
Oh,
I don't know how to do that.
You want me to do it? Let me see. I think it's.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it either.
Oh.
Maybe that's all we can do.
Oh, that's what we got.
Okay. I thought maybe we could just flash over to you for a minute, but maybe we can't. That's all right.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So on my candles. Okay, so I like to make. I don't actually have any on hand with me, but let me see if I can grab one. I burn them all so quick. Also, this is the painting I made. Just not to like. But actually, what I do. So here's one of my candles that I have kind of ready. I haven't done anything to it yet, but I'll like burn intention candles, and you can see that I've burned quite a few on this little stand here. This is my Christmas one. This is just one that I think I was burning for like a positivity intention, and then this red one, it was more for like connecting to like goddess energy. So what I do is like candles and wax, they all kind of hold their own meaning. Color symbolism is super important. You know, every color kind of holds a symbolism in our brain. That's why different brands will associate different colors with different meanings. So if it's a brand that's like for, you know, the environment, you're going to see lots of green. You know, like more eco-friendly brands will use lots of green. Can't want to manifest romance into, you're going to want to use pink. You're going to want to use red. Pink, like mom's pink wig over there. So money, if you want to manifest money, it would be green. If you want to manifest peace and tranquility, we want to do blue. So basically what I do is I will take a white candle or basically any base that I'm trying to include in my life. So if I want more joy, I would use like a yellow candle, right? And then I'll drip different colors of wax of like additional energies that I want to incorporate. Sometimes I'll sprinkle some herbs on it and then have some oils that are kind of anointed on the candle. I can carve certain things into it.
So with oils, Lonnie, we'll just tell people that aren't familiar, like essential oils, like frankincense or peppermint or whatever, because all the essential oils have special properties as well that enhance your vibration, that literally help you draw things into your life.
Absolutely.
So you can anoint your candle with these oils that will add to the magic that you're creating through your ritual.
Absolutely. And also, you know, make sure the oils that you're using kind of align with what you're trying to attract. Like I wouldn't use, like I wouldn't necessarily use like rose in like a money manifesting, just because roses are more romantic and loving and soft and gentle, right? So if I'm like money and like success and power, it kind of conflicts a little bit. So you'd want to use a different kind of herb for that. But or a different kind of oil for that. So yeah, make sure your herbs and your oils and your colors are all kind of aligned with your intention. And then you can carve stuff into it. You can carve your own name if you want.
I love it that you do that. And sometimes you do runes,
Yep.
rune symbols that you carve that right into the candle.
Absolutely. Any symbols that hold any kind of personal power for you too. Like sometimes I'll do like old Celtic symbols just because like my family history is like Celtic and Norse. So it's kind of cool to be able to connect in with my ancestors in that way and kind of draw on their energy too. But yeah, and then just, lighting the candle with intention. Oftentimes I'll just meditate and be like, okay, like I want to draw. And, even you don't even have to burn it all the way down. I think for me, I find that it actually holds more power if I like split it up into segments. So I'll take like maybe one night, burn it down this much. The next night I'll sit down with the same intention and burn it down this much. I'll sit with it. I'll like reflect. I'll think. I'll review the things that I want. And then it kind of like builds to it every time you relight the candle until it's completely burned away. And then it's like also training your brain how to manifest, how to stay in alignment, stay in the energy of all of that cool creation energy, and keeps you keeps you on track. I've had a lot of coffee. Can you smell?
Exactly. And I think, let's see, Tracy said about here, love lighting a candle for any worries or concerns to burn away. That's beautiful. Just watch it go. And actually, Lonnie does a lot of like cord cutting. So when I do cord cutting, I just do it, through theta healing, which is the practice that I usually use, that I've applied everything else I've learned through it. But Lonnie likes more of the physical application. And you do like 2 candles with a cord and then burn the cord.
Yes. So
I love how she does it. And it's always been very, very effective for her. So no matter what you use, there's not one way to do anything. That's the most important thing for you to know. So you can create your own rituals and they will be also very, very effective. But Lonnie, do you want to share that one that you do?
So it's called cord cutting. There's lots of different ways to do it, and I think the most important thing is that you find what works for you. I love doing the theta healing route. I think energetically being able to visualize it is extremely effective and extremely valuable. Sometimes I feel, depending on the situation and depending on how much energy I feel like is involved, it helps me personally to be able to visualize it like in a physical sense and then to watch it happen. And also too, like as I've done this a few different times, the candles sort of tell a story.
Yes.
You pick which candle is yours. You pick which candle is the energy that you're trying to, separate yourself from. And that can be a person, it can be a substance, it can be a way of thinking and being in the world, it can be an environment, it can be anything, a job, really whatever you want it to be. But basically what happens is I would have I got one stand over there, but I would have 2 stands like this one. Hopefully yours isn't completely covered in wax like mine is. But I would have them set up like this. This guy would be over here, also in his little stand. I would tie a string uniting them. And over the course of the cord cutting, you kind of sit down and you think about why you want to separate this energy. Like, what's going to happen to your life when you release this energy? How will you feel when this is no longer a part of your life? You're going to review any lessons that you've received from this connection, this job, whatever it is that you're separating from, and just thank it, give it some gratitude, give it some good energy, and be like, thank you for the lessons that you taught me. I no longer wish to experience this. I am now done with this lesson. I release you. And that's kind of the energy that you want to have. But as the candles burn, the string that you have that's tying the two will eventually burn as well. It'll either light or the candle will implode. I've seen some pretty cool things happen over the course of my cord cuttings, and some really it tells you a lot more than you realize, because the candles kind of tell a story too. I actually had one like last year. I did one with somebody that I had ended a relationship with, and it was really cool to watch how the candles told the story kind of the relationship, right? And it was really beautiful, and I was like crying by the end of it. I was like, that was like an emotional experience. So being able to physically witness that and see it play out within, the course of an hour, because, depending on the candles you use, it may or may not take a certain amount of time, but you do want to do these in one sitting. These are not the kind of, they're not like a little spell candle. These are more like you want to get this done in one, because you're not going to gradually cord cut over the course of a week. Like, you want this to be like swift.
Lonnie, wouldn't you recommend, like when somebody's if they're doing a cord cutting, that they're like intentionally I would actually intentionally watch the candle and think about
Yes.
all the lessons, all the blessings, and being ready to release the energetic pattern of repeating the same
Mhm.
situation. Like you said, lesson complete. I've learned it. Now I release this person and this energy from my life.
Absolutely.
I've drawn from it everything I could learn, no longer willing to repeat this pattern and cycle in my life.
Mhm.
And then, really be clear about all of that without blame, because blame will put the energy on the other person instead of realizing that you have a valuable lesson to learn. So just
100%.
taking that lesson and releasing the person or the energy that taught you it, watching that candle burn down, and by the time it hits that thread or that string and burns, that'll be a very big release. I mean, you'll feel it, you'll see it, you'll witness it, but stay in that energy as it's burning down, as long as that takes, to really reflect upon all the many lessons and blessings that you received during that experience.
100%. Every experience that we have that comes into our life for a reason. Either we attracted it based on our previous cycles, or we
Yeah.
attracted it to learn something new. So or about ourselves, about the
Yep.
world, about relationships, whatever it is, like there's a reason why it came into your life. So being able to reflect upon all of that as it's burning. And the thing is too, people think, don't get confused. Like after the string burns, that doesn't mean your cord cutting is done. You burn these candles to the ground. You release these, because what you're doing essentially is you're like releasing the energy back into the universe by burning it and saying goodbye to it.
Yeah.
And you're like just sending it back to, wax or what it is. And sometimes it's cool too. Like even the wax at the end of it will tell a story. It'll be like a little puddle on the make sure. Oh, also these, if you're going to, what I like to do when I do cord cuttings is I'll carve my name in one candle and then the energy that I'm releasing in the other candle. Sometimes I'll anoint them with certain herbs that I feel are powerful that will help assist me with this releasing process, depending on what I'm working with. I'll have a little bit of salt for protection, that kind of thing. But never leave these unattended. These are not the kind of candles that you like, light with like an intention. You're like, all right, I'm gonna go do dishes now. Like I'm gonna go, get ready for my day. Like it's not like a light it and then, absentmindedly go about your day and let it burn.
Yes.
This is something where you want to really pay attention to. For one, because you are actively releasing energies and emotions, and you really want to be present for that experience because it's supposed to be a healing experience. And two, if you're anointing these with any kind of oils or herbs, they will be very flammable, and their flames will get
Good to
high,
know.
and it can easily, if you've got pets like cats, like I do, they might be like, oh, what's that? And then they'll burn their whiskers off, or they'll knock off the candle and it'll burn, so just be safe. Fire
Yeah.
safety is
And
always.
that's what you're saying too, is that it interacts with you. And we've done things before, like Lonnie, when you and I have done even healing work, and there's
Yeah,
a candle in the room. Sometimes that flame will go from like this high to like
just
this high
it shoots
right
up.
before there's a huge emotional purging or release. Or if we feel ancestor spirits come in, or spirit guides or angels come in, the flame is very responsive, and it'll
Yes.
just seemingly like get really large or start flickering in a different way. And so, if you're an empath, an intuitive, if you're a healer, tune in with everything in your environment. When you sit down to do any kind of ritual, spell work, or magic, everything that matters and that occurs during that time frame is significant. So it's
Yes.
really good to be able to interpret that as a way of like, you're calling upon all the forces around you to participate, whether that's
Mhm.
animals, birds, the phone ringing, somebody specific sending you a text at that very moment, all energies at play, they're coming in as part of your ritual. So I think that's important to pay attention to as well.
Oh my God, 1,000,000%. And just acknowledging how you're feeling throughout the whole process. You might, during this cord cutting, think like, oh, I'm ready to let this energy go, and all of a sudden you're like violently crying, but it's like it's good. Like you're purging that. Or you could be like I'm so done with this, and then suddenly you're just like completely joyful and peaceful and happy. There's,
Yeah.
pay attention to your feelings when you're going through this, and how your
Yeah.
animals are reacting. You might like, yeah, your phone might go off. I mean, you might have a
Yeah.
song stuck in your head. Anything, like everything is relevant, especially when you're
I,
doing this kind of
I
work.
would also probably set an intention right into your magical work that you get some sort of response throughout, the rest of the day as
Yes.
validation that this is a done energy, that this is cleared, or that something is coming in that you've specifically asked for. Just ask for the universe to send you that sign, that confirmation, that validation that that this is complete,
Yeah.
and you'll get a feeling and a sensation about it anyways. But again, use all the components around you to interact with you throughout the process. I mean, we are connected to everything. You're connected to all the animals, you're connected to the grass, the trees, you're connected to other people. You are energetically connected to everything. So it's not wrong to ask that everything else connect with you in this process or in any other process. That you have that right to call upon its favor or cooperation.
Speaking of being connected to all animals, I feel like this little guy wants to. Oh,
Oh,
he
of
was
course,
really
yes,
interested. He was
the
very
Great
interested.
Gatsby.
Yeah, he was very interested in what we were talking about. He wanted to take part and be a part of it.
Oh,
You can't not have a cat on a witch episode.
yeah, especially a black cat, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
real.
yeah. They always get to see Punky, but I don't think they've ever seen the Great Gatsby before.
I think when I hosted, he
Oh, did
likes
you?
it when I'm talking. So he'll come
Yeah.
in and he wants to be on camera. He's like, "Hello."
That's adorable.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if there's anything in the questions and comments. Oh, thank you, Tracy.
Yeah, he's a good baby.
Okay, and Winter, the special dog, had to leave us, but thank you for tuning in with us. And we'll see you next time. Let's see. Ah, good. And I thought there was another one in here from you, Tracy. Let me see. Yes, right here. Okay, love anointing, intentions and candles with my oils. Sandalwood is lovely grounding for working with the elementals. This is all so close to my heart and lifestyle. I love that.
Love
Love
it.
that, Tracy. Yeah, and we were actually, Lonnie and I were discussing that too. A lot of people, maybe it's not part of their belief system yet, or maybe they don't really know how to call in the fairies and all of those other energies. Nature spirits, they're real. You can call in the energy of the water, the energy that protects trees. A tree will have its own spirit, but it will also have fairies protecting it. So you can actually connect with all of those energies. And if this was 30 years ago, I think I had lost my mind, but I know that they're true. I know that they're real. I mean, I see them. I used to see them just intuitively. And now I can see them with my physical eyes as well, because my vibration has increased, my vision has expanded, my spiritual ability to tune in with those energies in different frequencies has really grown over the years. But gosh, when Lonnie was little, she'd paint those things for me all the time. And I was like, oh, that's cute, and I just kind of was like, that's magical. Imagination type stuff. That's how I thought about it. It wasn't until I was a little older and started really interacting with the spirit world in a deeper level that I saw that that was an absolute fact, that they do exist on a certain frequency. So go ahead and call in the nature spirits and the elementals to help you. They're really fun to play with and to bring magic into your life. We just have to warn you to always give them an offering so that they don't just take whatever they want in exchange. Or, what I teach my theta healing students is to connect with them like you would go to creator first and then connect with them. Then you kind of bypass that and there's no exchange.
Well,
But
and
yeah, if you're just a
absolutely.
normal person, tell them what we give them, Lon.
Well, I mean, I was just going to add that, I mean, every culture around the
Yeah.
world has, mythology of like little beings, little
Yes.
people, which kind of correlates to like, fairies or, like that
Yeah.
sort of thing. Which I think is really, really cool. It's a universal thing. So even if it's like
Yes.
for a while I used to be like, oh, like I don't want to be interested in fairies anymore. That's like kid stuff, like whatever. And then the older that I got, the more that I've kind of like come full circle with my like spiritual practice and like getting more invested into it and sort of finding my path with it. It's like I am like, no, like this they're everywhere. They're like that. They're in every culture.
Yeah.
They're in every, like, you look back on, so many different like ancient like manuscripts, and they're talking about like, oh, like they assist us with, how we grow our food. And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
But absolutely, yeah. So there's always an exchange of energy, and especially when you're working with them, they'll find their own source of payment, whatever they think they need to be paid. And there was a
Yes.
while there where I was actually, I was working with them a lot, I think, when I was younger and I was in high
Yeah.
school, and I was like kind of subconsciously working with them just because I was really drawn to their energy. I loved, obviously, I paint quite a lot of them. I'm very drawn to them. So when I get to see them with people, I get excited because I'm like, oh my God, this is like my bread and butter. Like, I love painting fairies and like magical type things. But I started really working with that when I was in high school, and they would just take stuff because I was like, they're helping me with my art. I know they're helping me with my art because that's their jam. They're all about like art and music and poetry and like everything artistic. But they would take my cell phone.
They've taken your cell
And
phone multiple times,
so many
jewelry,
times.
so many things.
Jewelry, so many things, and we'd find it in the weirdest of places, like behind the
Only
fridge.
after, well, we can share this. I normally don't share that, but yeah, we'll share it. Maybe I shared it on our fairy episode. Probably I did. But Lonnie would just write a note to them and be very
Mhm,
specific. Please return my cell phone by tomorrow. And she'd write the specific date and the specific time, Central Standard Time, and then thank you. And then she'd draw them a pretty picture, leave them a little chunk of dark chocolate, and go to bed. And the next day, boom, there it would be. It'd be returned. And I've taught many people, and it always works. And I've actually had people ask me also, well, can you write a note to the fairies to have them return something you lost a long time ago? What if it wasn't them that took it? What if you just lost it on your own? Can they still return it? Of course they can. They're spiritual beings. Yes, they can. Yeah, that's the answer. Yes. So you can work with them. You can invite them in. They're very powerful healers as well. People underestimate them. They think it's just all kids play, but it's not. They're very powerful healers, and they can work with you. The secret and the key to working with fairies and getting that cooperation is being very mindful, like being very green, being very good about recycling or picking up litter if you're walking around, and really being a caretaker for the land, and just through your own responsibility and your own ethical code, and also being in joy, being playful and being open-minded. They love that energy. And really, that's what Lonnie's all about. I used to open the door when she was little. She'd be in her room painting, and I could hear her singing like basically Disney songs, and I would open the door to peek at her, like, what? She's been in so happy in there for hours. What is she doing? I'd peek and I'd look in there, and it was like fairies everywhere around her. She'd just call them into her. So were they helping her with her art? I'm sure they were. Yeah. But also, she was in the right vibration to connect with them. And that's very important to know. If you're asking for the fairies and you're just like ho hum, sitting in your chair and you're depressed and you're not opening your vibration to them, it will be much more difficult for them to affect you or have an impact on you. So get
mhm.
playful and silly and invite them in. That's kind of the open door for the fairies to come in and work with you.
And absolutely, you attract where you vibrate.
Yeah.
If you're going to attract a lot more like ghosts and negativity and
Yes.
darker energies, that's kind of hard to get rid of, and that's not fun. Nobody wants that. So it's like making sure that you're kind of maintaining your vibration, not in like a I have to be happy all the time kind of way, but more in just like
Right.
I need to be in alignment and peaceful and not be bogged down kind of way. Just find the joy when you can, and thrive in it when you can, and keep attracting that when you can. But what's cool about fairies too is like there's so many different kinds, and I think we kind of think that they're just like these little like pixies with like flower dresses and like little wings, and they fly around, which some of them totally 100%. But in most mythology, they're kind of seen as these like very powerful earth spirits. They're kind of like these
Yes.
demigods, but they're connected very much with the earth too. So they're a lot more powerful. They might be small, but they're very powerful. And if you
You
think about
know,
earth energy and like the energy of the earth and Mother Earth and all of that, they're basically like kind of beings that work with that plane. So if you think about how powerful storms are, right? Thunderstorms and waterfalls, like that's the kind of energy that they embody. So that kind of like wild sense of nature that's still powerful. And they just seem to, present themselves to us in whatever way that, we have kind of perceive them over the course of time. But the old stuff is really cool to kind of look into.
I think one of the things that I also teach people to do is to take pictures. Like, let's say you buy a flower arrangement, or you bring flowers in from outside. That's even better yet. Or something that's still growing, that's still actually in its own soil. That will often have fairies around it. And one of my friends taught me this many years ago, and I've done it many times since then. It's always been so effective. He taught me to burn some incense right beside the flower or the plant, because the smoke, as it kind of is infusing its way around the plant or flowers, you'll be able to start seeing some gaps in the smoke, because if a little fairy's there, the smoke will go around it, right? And so we would look at it, and you could see the aura of the plant, and you could see, as we gave it attention, that the aura would grow, that the energy field would increase. And then we'd see some areas where the smoke wasn't going. And that was the first time that I actually saw a fairy, well, in this regard. And I actually saw like a little heat wave just in one little area, and the smoke was going around it. And then I reached in to touch it, and it tickled my finger. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just touched a fairy. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, you can do that. You can also, I would teach my students how to take their cameras, digital camera, iPhone camera, doesn't matter. Although simple point and shoot digital cameras tend to take really great spirit photos and fairy photos. So anyways, they would get around the plant or flower, and then they'd ask, and you should always ask the fairies for them to interact. Is it okay if I photograph you? I will not exploit this. I will use this for education so I can share this with people. And then they're really happy to cooperate. And you can literally take pictures and get fairies to show up in the picture, even if you don't see them with your eyes, because it's a frequency that your eyes may be tuning out, but the camera will catch what's really there. So I think that that's really interesting. That's one of my specialties, is spirit photos, catching all kinds of different spiritual beings in photographs. So that's a real thing, and you can do it.
I've seen some really interesting photos of like, I mean, all kinds of things, but there's like some cool fairy stuff online too, where I'm like, what?
Yes.
That's so cool. Like,
Yes.
it's
Well, a lot
very
of times
neat.
when I see them, they're like little sparkly. If I'm out in nature and the nature fairies are coming around me, they're just like little teeny sparkling, and then they kind of go in a circle, like all together, those kind of energy bodies. But I have, like I said, taught many students how to see them, touch them, photograph them. Yeah. And so they're very magical, and you want to have some play and some fun and childlike curiosity about your life. Start working with the fairies, getting that vibration, and just open yourself up for some playtime.
Yes.
Oh, Mary Klein just joined us. Hi, Mary. All right. Do you guys have any questions? And Tracy, she says, my little black cat Magic is lying beside me. She loves listening to the Love Witch. Oh, I love that.
That's such a cute name too. Oh.
Yes, very cute. Thank you, Tracy. So sweet.
Mary.
There we go. All right. So you guys have any questions? Also, I don't know if we said this one earlier with Winter, the special dog. I meditate when my candle goes out, I stop. I like that too. Like it's kind of like, that's a good intentional time. Like, okay, the energy's done. It's complete.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. All right. And you could do a lot of things too. Like you were saying, Lonnie, like if you do like a candle, anything with candles, wax, burning, you can actually like drop it onto a plate and do some scrying into the wax as it drops off and forms its own pattern or picture for you. And you can scry into that and see like, oh, it's taking shape. And you'll intuitively connect to the imagery or the picture as it's developing. So, and that could be really fun to do.
So 100%. And there's actually a practice that I've seen. I'm not the greatest at it. I'm not the best at interpreting kind of like wax symbolism, but some people are just like spot on with it. It's like reading tarot cards for them. Like they just see the symbols, they interpret like the shapes
Yep.
of it and everything. And I'm like, that's cool. I can't do that, but it's a really cool skill that if you want to kind
Yeah.
of cultivate. But I've seen people will actually drop wax into water and it instantly cools and forms a shape. And then they are able to like look at it through the glass and they're able to turn it. And then that's supposed to kind of like be a way of scrying where they can like interpret like, the future or like,
Yes.
the truth of a situation, that kind of thing. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I love
that'd
that.
be a really cool way to,
That would be a really great one to try. I haven't done that yet.
yeah, same. I've just seen it around and I'm like, whoa, that's a new way. And I'm very intrigued by that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's very important to also, oh wait, let's see. How do you, let's put up Mary's question here. Okay. How do you know when you share special energy with somebody? Okay. So, I think it's an intuitive feeling, Mary. I think it's very just something that you feel. A lot of times we tend to be kind of in our head about things, and we think, we're so rational and we think things out and we plot and we wish and we desire. That's all like up here. But like when you're feeling a special energy with somebody, I think you're going to feel it in your chakras. You're going to feel it in your heart. You're going to feel it in your stomach. Not like it doesn't necessarily have to be butterflies, but it kind of should feel like almost like a pull towards them, like just like a peaceful feeling, but like a comfortable feeling in your gut that
Mm.
pulls you, that draws you to them. And then you're all at the same time, your heart will feel comfortable in their energy. And when they're being kind to you, you'll feel those energies get bigger and bigger. um and I think that, I mean, all of our chakras would kind of light up when we're with somebody that's really compatible, like a soulmate energy. It's like going to hit you in the crown chakra, in the third eye, in the throat, in the heart, in the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root chakra. All of them will light up and really connect you to each other. But I think the most noticeable on a personal level that most people will identify with will be the heart and the stomach. When those two feel in alignment, when you're thinking about somebody or connecting with them.
Yes. I was just gonna add something to that. What was I gonna add?
I
I
know.
started
I could see
talking
it. I
something.
could see you were going to add something.
I know, I was like thinking about all of it, and literally as soon as I opened my mouth, I was like, where did it go? Okay, I remember.
Oh, thank you, Shelly. Shelly was tuning in with us too. Thank you, honey. It
Oh,
was
thanks,
great to
Shelly.
have you here.
Yeah. Um, Adding to that, I think I remember reading somewhere, and I don't know if if it's a quote. I think what happened was there was this girl, and I think her dad was telling her, and I think he kind of came from like more of a Buddhist background, so I don't know if it's like Buddhist necessarily or if it was just his personal perspective, but he was talking about how like someday when she was going to marry somebody and like how she would know that it was the right person for her. And he was like, if you feel butterflies around the person that you're with, it's probably not the right person, because your soulmate won't make you feel like you're on a roller coaster. They won't make you feel like elated or excited. They'll make you feel peaceful because they feel like home. So coming home to them won't feel like this energetic like up and down. It'll just be like comfort and warmth and safety.
Yes.
And I always like kind of that stuck with me, and I was like, that's actually really a really beautiful way, because I think we're kind of always taught in society like, oh, like love is going to be like the Notebook, right? You're going to have this huge drama and you're going to leave your fiance for like your old boyfriend after you really like dramatic, like no, that's like kind of toxic. That's like kind of horrible.
Well,
Like it's a
it's
great
romance.
story and film, but
Right. Romance is different than love.
yeah.
Infatuation is based around fantasy of somebody. I've actually had people before, like, kind of like lose their feelings over me when they, like, this one person thought I was, they put me up on a pedestal and then came home one day and I was scrubbing the toilet. And he was like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. I freaking clean house. Damn right. I give birth. I clean house. I'm a real person. I cry. I do all kinds of stuff. So don't be
Also, you're
fantasizing about me.
welcome.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. Yes. So it's so important to get through that fantasy. That's where all those heightened emotions are that draw us to somebody. But to the real love that's really beautiful is seeing who a soul is, not your projection of them, not the fantasy of them, but who their soul is, who they are energetically in life. what is significant about what they do, how they show up for those they love or themselves? What is the impact of their life on others? And really falling in love with that kind of purpose behind somebody, that's a more beautiful, deep, and respectful type of love. And that would be more of a soulmate love.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so well, when we first started this, we were giving away all of those love charm bags to help people draw more love into their life so that they could experience that. And that's probably a nice way to end. If you guys want to experience that kind of love, it's really important to give yourself that kind of love. You know, maybe ask yourself that question: what am I contributing to the world, society? And it doesn't have to be monetary. It doesn't have to be books. It can be love. It can be smiling. It could be like, oh, every time I enter a room, I smile at people and make them feel good about themselves. That could be a really powerful signature quality that you have that uplifts, and that could be something that you're known for. And it's something that you can do for yourself. It makes you feel good, but you're doing it and having an impact on others. It can be that simple. And in your own way, then you're spreading magic to other people, because every time you elevate another person, you're raising the vibrational frequency of yourself and others. So that's a beautiful, simple way that you can go about your daily life and living in magic.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm
Yeah.
looking at you, you're like, hmm.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely, yeah, and there's, like, so many different ways to, like, incorporate, like, magic into your daily life. Like, it's so simple, and it's as easy
Yeah.
as smiling when you walk into a room. It's as easy as stirring an intention when you put sugar in your coffee in the morning, or, maybe when you get in your car and you turn your car on and you say, "Thank you, car," like, "Get me to my destination safely," or, "Angels, help me
Yeah.
find a parking spot," or, whatever it is. Like, there's so many little ways to find magic as you walk through the world. And how are you all gonna find magic today? I think ask
Yes.
yourself
And I
that, like,
think you
what's
guys,
what's your thing?
let's leave that as the takeaway, Lonnie. I think you guys, if you want magic in your life, remember you're cooperating with everything else in life, inanimate, inanimate, okay? Human, spirit, you're animal, you're connected to absolutely everything. So invoke it for yourself.
Mhm.
Begin by moving out, as soon as we get off this broadcast, just close your eyes for a moment and say, I'm ready for the magic. Bring me magic. Fill my day with magic. Help me see the magic. I'm ready to live a magical life. And then just be open and pay attention to some new energies that come into your life, some new people that you talk to, and the way that you approach the way that you're actually energetically experiencing your day.
Yes.
All right, you guys. Well, Lonnie, thank you for jumping in and tuning in with us today. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thanks for having me.
Nice surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I was, just on Facebook. I had just sold some furniture, and I popped back on, and I saw the broadcast playing, and I was like, "Oh, hey," and then I just popped in the chat, and then you're like, "Come on," and I was like, "Okay, I like this stuff, like, I got stuff to add to it, I might as well just pop in." Share my 2
Yeah.
cents.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know we love you. And we'll see you next week. Bye
Bye.
bye.